Hey everybody, it's Larry Steinhouse, and this is the Larry Steinhouse Show. I'm having an awesome day today, and I've got a really cool guest today. I'm going to tell you that somebody came to me, this guest came to me, and I met him at an event that I was in New York, and this guy has created an app that blows my mind, actually. It's an incredible app for landlords, and I'll tell you, as a landlord, I've been looking for an app forever to do some of the needs that I have, such as being able to collect rent, being able to have be notified of problems, all kinds of really cool stuff. And every time I go on a website to try to buy one of these programs, they're extremely expensive. So I meet this guy, Ryan Barone. I will tell you a little about him in a minute. I meet this guy, Ryan Barone, and he turns out that he created an app called RentRedi. And the software that he created is unbelievable. And in fact, I'll tell you what, the RentRedi app, when you see it, and I've actually sent it out to some of the people on my feed already, when you see this app, and I'm going to tell everyone to go on this app right away, take a look at it, check it out, and you will be amazed at this. So, Ryan, I've got your pretty face. Actually,
Thank you, Larry.
First of all, I got to, what are you, 12?
12 and a half.
All right, cool.
24.
So you develop an app, right? You're 24 years old. You develop an app that is probably one of the most genius apps I've ever seen, like I said before, in the industry for controlling tenants. So tell me. By the way, I also want to say real quickly, your dad's in the audience, so say hi to you. So say hi to everybody. This is Ed Barone. Oh, Ed Barone, right? Your dad and your partner, right? Exactly. But the reason I say that is because I really want to talk about the app, and then I want to talk about the story. So I want to start with the story of you creating this app, and I want to make sure that I did introduce your dad before I heard the story, because I know your dad has something to do with this story. That's why I wanted to bring it up. Definitely. So tell us the story about how RentRedi was created.
Yeah, so I actually went to school in New York City originally at Pace. I got an internship out of school, went to get my first apartment with no other than this gentleman as my guarantor. And the application process was really hard. And I thought I was just bad at it, and I probably was. But we did it a few more times, and it was still hard. So we tried to build an app originally just to make applications easier. And from the tenant side originally, which is why it was so mobile focused, because that was the way my mindset worked, the way I wanted it to be. And then we started to get landlords coming back and saying, hey, well, wait, what about us? We're stuck on pen and paper and spreadsheets as small landlords all around the U.S. So they said, well, wait.
Or memory.
Exactly. Exactly. Even worse.
Right.
So we started getting feedback from them, and that started to drive, okay, well, should it have maintenance? How should that maintenance be? Should there be rent? And why should that be different than the way it was in the past? And all of these anecdotal stories from landlords about specific issues they had kind of drove what we built and why we built it, and kind of ended up with what we have now and what it's going to be tomorrow and the next day.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit. So you're going to school, and what were you going to school for?
I was double major in economics and math, and I minored in computer science.
So you're going to school, and you're going, and the whole idea is that you're going to school and you're trying to find a place to live while you're at school, right?
Yeah.
And you can't find a place to live. You can't navigate through it.
Exactly. The document collection was confusing. It was different for everybody.
Why was it so difficult, though?
I mean, from the tenant side to start, there wasn't one place where I could put everything. So I wanted that from the tenant side. I wanted to be able to put it all in there. I'm
talking about your story, and I realize why you did it. I love the answer, but the solution, which is create the app. Yeah. But I'm trying to. I'm curious to see, because what happened was, you had a bad incident that created this app,
right?
And the bad incident, I don't even understand how the bad incident happened,
right? Well, we didn't have our documents together and all of our information together when we were trying to get an apartment.
What information did you need? You needed
I had W-2, tax returns, letter of employment. For my case, since I was a student, I needed a student transcript. All of that information. So it originally was just a tenant app for that, and building a way for me to get my own documents together so that I could go apply places and not miss out on those apartments when I did find one that I actually liked.
So putting everything in a file folder on your computer wasn't simple enough for you, huh?
It wasn't simple enough. Yeah, so it kind of grew from that.
Okay, great. So now you're finding yourself in a position where it's difficult for you to did you like to get an apartment, but did you find other people out there that had the same exact problem?
Yeah, I did,
Okay.
and in different ways even. So I had one landlord say to me, well, my tenant's issue is actually that they came and viewed an apartment. They liked it. I liked them as people. I wanted to rent them. But when they went to actually apply and they gave me some of their financial information, I knew there was no way I could rent them. And so that was a waste of my time. It was a waste of theirs. It was a waste of their money. That was actually what drove pre-qualifications on our on RentRedi, was saying, okay, he said, if you give me a watered down version of that ahead of time, that would save me a lot of time. So we started to go through and say, okay, what could you self-report ahead of time before you both spend the time and money to go look at something, and out came the pre-qualifications from that.
Okay, so Ed, you told me a funny story, and I'm so glad you're here today because it makes it so much better. Tell me about the story about the day Ryan came to you and told you about creating RentRedi.
Well, it was actually, his initial decision was after graduating and working for 4 months at his Wall Street job. And we were actually, my wife and I were out for 6 months, and my wife and I were out with some friends. And we got a phone call, and I saw it was him. And so I stepped aside, and I said, how you doing? And he said, hey, I'm thinking of quitting my job. And I said, really? And I said, why? And he goes, I'm gonna build this, this app for people to submit their rental applications. And I thought, wow, okay. And I said, he goes, what do you think? You think that's going to work? And I said, I think you should do it. And
well, so right
actually,
there, I got to stop you because I got to know. I think you should do it.
But I had a
you
caveat.
get the point. Okay, okay.
I do remember making one statement. I said to him, I said, promise me one thing. I said, no successful company today looks anything like the founders intended. So I said, just promise me one thing. You think you know what this is. I promise you don't. Just keep talking to people. Talking and listening and talking and listening and talking and listening and talk to hundreds of landlords, not just tenants. And that's eventually, over time, that's where the landlord side came in, because it started as a tenant app. And through that, he started talking to landlords and found out that their side was equally, if not worse.
Absolutely. Right,
and said,
right.
So eventually he said, you know what, let's just solve this for both sides instead of just looking at the tenant side. And that really turned out to be a great move.
So I actually, it's funny, I actually waited to sign up because I wanted to talk to you guys. You guys are actually going to be here tonight. By the way, if you're in the area at adventureschooling.com tonight, these guys are going to get speakers, which is amazing because they're going to be talking about the app to our students. And I've opened this up to everyone at the sound of my voice. Anyone who could come in, they could come in and they could watch this presentation tonight. You guys and one other guest speaker who's going to be here today a little in the afternoon also can see this. But I waited for you to come in. But I'm going to tell you a story about a phone call I got the other day, and I want you to maybe talk me through how the app could help me with this. Now, she sends me a text message, right? And she says the dishwasher stopped working. And she wanted to know if she's responsible or if I'm responsible. And it turns out, I'm responsible because I only tell my tenants that the washing machines are their problem, dishwasher's my problem, no problem. So she texts me. I said, okay, do me a favor, send me a picture of the dishwasher. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to know the model number, so when I called the repairman. Guess what I never did? I never called the repairman. So this is now 2 days. Now, it's not heat. It's not like, not like I was a really bad landlord. I mean, we're talking about dishwasher. But at the same time, she contacted me 2 days ago, and for 2 days now, I have not gotten a hold of her. And on top of that, I had this entire day that I'm doing this show, so I can't even reach anybody today.
Right.
So let's talk about your app and say what would happen in your app, how the flow would go, and how it would be better for the tenant for the app in this case, because obviously I'm the one who screwed up. But at the same time, how it could be better for me.
Definitely. So in this case, if you have someone that you can actually share your maintenance request people and even do it with people and even do it automatically. So in this case with this tenant, she could have popped open her app, taken a video of what the problem was going on in her fridge or that serial number you want or anything, send it in. A maintenance person would, as well as you, would also get the notification immediately. They could watch the video, see what was wrong, go fix it, mark it complete, and you might not have had to do anything at all. So even if you were in these all day,
that's great, right?
You might not have had to. But at the same time, if you got out of these hopefully tomorrow, because I hope you're not doing work tonight after this, but
Oh, no,
tomorrow.
I'm here all night. I'm here with you guys all night. Are you kidding me?
Right. So if you take a look tonight or tomorrow and you see that it's still on there, you still get that oversight.
Right.
So you're not necessarily required to do all of the work yourself, but you know if it's getting done or not, and you can see what has been completed or hasn't, so that you know that your tenants aren't sitting there going, "Wait, Larry, why is this still broken?"
I'm actually embarrassed because I'm really a good landlord, and that embarrasses me that I waited one extra day, and now two, to get a hold of them, because I spoke to one person who wouldn't go out there because it was too far away, and then I didn't speak to the next person. So I'm embarrassed. Angeline, I'm really sorry. I don't know if you're watching, but I'm really sorry. I've got to take care of that. But obviously it will be taken care of. But again, so I could see the benefits right away for the landlord. Now you have the tenant on the tenant side, so she has this app.
Right.
Now does she have the button on there that goes,
Yep.
"Hey, where the heck are you?"
Yeah. So the thing is, she can pop that open, and she doesn't necessarily have to jump on the phone with you. So if she can't get a hold of you because you're busy, or she wants to send that in, that's no problem. The nice thing is you can also communicate back with her, so that if you wanted to say that you wanted to shoot her a notification, let them know that someone was going to come over and fix it, or when, you could send that right to her phone so she sees that and gets updated kind of throughout the process on that.
That's awesome. So so it starts out with the lease application, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they come in and let's, again, I don't know if you're connected to Zillow or Truly or anything like that.
Yeah,
they
actually we are.
Well, that's freaking awesome. Okay,
I think
that's awesome.
Last time we spoke, we weren't, and earlier this month we added that. Yeah,
that's great. So now somebody finds my house on Zillow, they want to rent it. They click through and they go to RentRedi.
Yep, exactly. So you can now
amazing.
push your property right out to Zillow, Trulia, and HotPads.
Okay,
with
so
just
I
a click
actually
of the
listed
button.
on RentRedi.
Well, so since you already have all of that information in there, and this was again from the landlord side, they were saying, "Hey, I have to put all of this in here to track who's in my apartment, how much rent is, all of these details I need for myself." I'm then going over and writing this again on listing platforms. If I could just hit a button, it's already there. So that's exactly what you can do now. So you just hit a button on our site, and it sends it out to all of those.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
so then tenants can find your listing on there. We create this unique code for every property, so they can just pre-qualify to your property. You get notified. Even a new thing we added since the last time is now you can customize the email back. So what some of our landlords are even doing is they're putting in these Calendly links, which is the way we actually do our demos. Right. So when a landlord wants to do a one-on-one demo with us, they go in, they pick from the calendar of when we're available. We do a demo with them, and we make sure we don't double book. Now, landlords, since that's free, are doing that for themselves with people coming into view.
Okay, so I want to double book my showing.
Then you can do that.
I can, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so you can leave it open after that as well.
I bring in 5 people at the same moment.
So you're efficient.
So no, it's more than efficient. It does a lot of things. Number one, so if I have to go to my place at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going to show it to 5 people. You know why?
Exactly.
2 aren't going to show.
Right.
So if 2 aren't going to show, now I'm only throwing it to 3, and on top of that, let them fight over it.
Right.
Oh, he didn't take it. I'll take it.
Right.
Oh, I was here first. That's what I want, because I don't want to go back there again.
Yep.
If I'm doing 1 at 3 o'clock and 1 at 7 o'clock and 1 2 days later, what a pain in the neck that is for me.
Right.
I'd much rather do it this way.
And the nice thing in our system is all of those people that you're showing it to will have already sent you a pre-qualification that has just 10 questions on it that help you determine, do you even want them to come and meet with you? Is there a fit? And then, so hopefully if 10 people were going to come, you have already whittled it down to 6 or 7. And then of those, because they already have the app now from doing the pre-qualification, you can shoot them notifications 15 minutes before, or you can schedule it automatically with Calendly so that they get a notification on their phone ahead of time that says, don't forget, half an hour from now you're meeting with me for this.
And they don't have to re-enter any info, which is
and
kind of nice.
But you're doing this without even talking to the person on the phone yet.
Right.
Correct.
See, that's funny. So I'm still old school.
Yeah.
I want to talk to everybody on the phone before I meet them.
Right.
But
your time's valuable.
Well, you can do that.
It's extremely valuable.
Right,
exactly.
You can still do that.
So that's a lot of time that you could be spending on anything.
No. But to me, that's how I narrow the map down.
Right.
I have certain things I tell tenants to
and
make sure.
Yeah, you get their phone number in there too, even with the pre-qualification.
Right.
So if you wanted to call them up as part of your process to vet, you can absolutely add that.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people now that they're just meeting people without meeting them. Like, first of all, it's dangerous.
Right.
I don't even like that idea. I'm a big guy. I'm not too worried about it, but you never know, right?
Yep.
But there's women who have places. There's real estate agents who have been attacked. All this stuff worries me. So I'm not a big. I want to talk to people first. But I'm glad your app lets you do
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to do this, and I don't promise that it's going to work, because it doesn't always work, because sometimes the Wi-Fi has a problem. But in front of you is the keyboard. If you want to show people the app, it's now on the screen, so they can now see. We're at rentredi.com. If you need to log in, if you don't want anybody to see what your login is, let me know. I can turn it back off for a minute.
Yeah.
Let me do that real quick. So, and then I'm going to, hold on one second before you do anything. All right, so go ahead and log in. They can't see the screen now, and when you're ready for them to see the screen, I'll turn it on for you.
I like this.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I'm telling you, I feel like, for you guys who are watching this, I feel like I'm sitting down with Bill Gates right now when he's inventing the 286. He didn't invent the processor, though. No, he invented the operating system. But he's inventing Windows, right? That's how I feel right now. That's how I feel about you guys. So that's kind of cool, Ryan. I mean, I think you're an amazing guy. Are we ready to show the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So I'm going to show the screen. So why don't you go through a quick demo? We got about maybe 6 or 7 minutes of a demo that you can go through and show people some of the cool things this thing can do for them.
Perfect. So up here, we'd normally have my calendar if I logged in to authorize that as well. But so we have basically our dashboard. And the design of this is a bit different than what we'd kind of seen in software in the past. And kind of the idea was we wanted you to be able to come in and know if you need to do anything. In my case, I would need to do a lot of things. But that's why this is a test account. So up in the kind of the top here, you have your properties. Every page is really designed to make it easy for you to learn quickly. So it has a similar design on each one. You have your filters up here that kind of show you your total properties, what's occupied, what's expiring soon, so that if you need to send out notices or you need to click that list button.
By the way, that right there, that's the place I miss everything. I always forget to send out my renewal letters, and because if you don't send it out 60 days before, you can't raise rents.
Right.
So that right there is worth every dollar that this thing is alone. And real quick, can you store leases on here too?
You can. Yeah,
that's kind of cool. I know I went off your demo,
hey,
but I'm just excited about that.
If I jump over here into the renters just to show that, I could click into one of these tenants here, and I have documents right here. Wow. So I could upload a lease, a pet rider, anything you want.
Wow.
And kind of the idea is hopefully with that expiring category, you're not getting to the vacant one. but if you do end up there, you know how many are sitting there, what are you losing a month on that, and then pushing that out to Zillow. The nice thing is when you get one of these pre-qualifications come through, in your case, you have that phone number right there where you could call them.
Sure.
If you want to reply to them and customize that message to say, come in, and there you go. I have that link right there. So if they want to schedule, they just would click that link. They pick a time.
So this is the message that they would get in their email.
Absolutely.
Right.
So
and they get a
push notification to their phone too.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
One of the nice things of having the app is it really opens up these push notifications to do a lot to help it not get lost in email, right? So we get a lot of emails in a day. The push notifications, a lot of the time, people don't miss as much. So if they see this come along at the same time, letting them know, okay, you're going to be getting an email with that link in there to pick a time to come look at this unit, it typically helps them out. And it'll automatically add it to the calendar over here as well. So the nice thing is when they go to...
Now, does that talk to my iPhone calendar and everything else?
Absolutely,
I thought so. I just want to make sure that we pointed that out. Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, so you can sync your calendar across the different devices and things like that. So if you add an event on your iPhone, it'll sync to there. If you add it here, it'll sync back to that as well.
Excellent.
And when they go to do the application, they don't have to redo all of that same information.
I just noticed Stephen Hawking.
I would, if he's going to live with me, I'll learn a few things.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not even.
But I got you.
So the nice thing is it pre-fills all of that information, and same thing from the landlord side. So if you were going to run a tenant screening, you don't have to re-enter all of that information over from an application into that tenant screening. We pre-fill all of that on the back end for you. So the tenant just gets a notification on their end. They verify their identity, they pay for it, generates the report, and you get to see it right in here.
You guys have a partnership, is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. With TransUnion.
TransUnion.
Exactly. Yeah, we partnered directly with them to actually build this. They're amazing through the whole process of it. So the nice thing is we're basically able to get all of these tenant screens as if all these small landlords are on our platform are one big buyer together, which is really nice. It kind of uses that community to work, to help each other all out throughout the process.
Great.
Absolutely. You get the nice thing is you can edit this, but if you, God forbid, ever have to go to court or anything like that, you have your signed version of a PDF over here as well, and any documents that would come along with that. We even crop and scan them to look like it was on a printer.
How about DocuSigning lease? Can you do the DocuSign lease?
Working on it.
Oh wow! I'm sorry if I revealed your next best.
No, I like it.
But yeah, sure.
No, it's how a lot of this came to be. Is someone saying, "Hey, can it do this?" and saying, "If you give me 2 weeks, it can."
Yeah, but what's nice about that is, right? So if I have a renewal, I send them. I call them up. Or I can call them. I can text them. Whatever. Right away. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. All right, here you go. You ready? Can you do this? Can you send the tenant an automatic renewal at 60 days before their thing with the lease attached, with a payment with an increase in rent of 3%?
Not yet.
I bet not yet.
But
we could.
But yes, we are definitely able to do that. Yes. So it's always adding more. You'll see it soon.
One of the things just to mention where this platform is very different than anything on the market is that in most cases there is either no customization allowed or customization is very expensive. In our case, our business model is based on constantly customizing based on owner feedback. So everything that's been built, even in the last 12 months, is because an owner asked for it. And we don't charge anybody for that, and we give it to everyone.
Awesome.
Right.
So I'd like to see. I tell you do that. I'd like to see a letter going out or an email going out, or a text message going out saying, "Hey, your lease is up in 60 days. These are the new lease. This is the new lease.
Right.
This is a new lease.
Terms.
The new terms. Yeah, new terms. The new rent. And if you do that, to me, that would be fantastic.
Right. And if you show them the intercom button, anytime anyone wants to make a suggestion like you did, all they have to do is click on this little button in the corner, click start a conversation, and tell us what they want, and it will get. And we talk about it, we work on it, we kick it around, and then we add it to the queue, and we decide when in the schedule can we fit it in, and how long will it take.
That's too much work. I'm not gonna do that.
Okay. We'll write it down.
Okay. No. I mean, I know you guys personally now, but I actually find that's great. That's actually great. So there's a suggestion. And I'm curious to know what your customer feedback is on that. So if somebody makes a suggestion to you,
exactly.
Do you give them automatic response? Thank you so much. Or
absolutely. So we thank them for it. We put it in the queue. We keep track of who they are.
It's real responses, though. It's not automated.
Yeah, and we actually add, if anybody else asks for it, their name gets added into that same request. And then, although we launch it and we do send out a message to every owner on the system, we also personally go out to those people who asked for it and say, hey, by the way, you asked for this
just
on
so
this
they know
date,
too,
and here it is.
Yeah.
All right, so I hate doing this, but we got 1 minute left.
Okay.
I know it
flies by.
It's what happens all the time. So what I'd like to do is tell them, number one, how can they get to the app?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's RentRedi.com, which is this one we had over here. It's RentRedi, because we are a startup and we have to misspell everything.
That's funny. I like that. I actually like that. Great.
So so the nice thing is you have two options here. That demo that we talked about, if you click that, you just pick a time and we'll go through everything just like we were doing with you. We tailor it to their questions that you might have, whoever's watching wants to do it.
Did you guys talk to Dan Satowski yet?
Not yet.
Yes.
I know the name.
Yep. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's actually when I suggested it,
I remember that.
I suggested you look at this, and he was all over it. I know
he's one step ahead of me.
No, but that's fine. No, that's fine. So what I want to do now, they can get a hold of they can go to rentredi.com. Here's the funny part. Now, I actually wish we had more time because I really wanted to ask the audience what they thought this cost a month, but by the time they respond to it, the show's going to be over.
Right.
So I'm going to let you surprise them. With how expensive this really is. Because this blows my mind.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to guess? Go ahead, start guessing. And so go ahead and tell them how much this is.
Yeah, the total on this is $20 a month.
Wait, how much?
$20 a month. 20.
How much?
Well, $19.95 actually.
You $20 a month?
Yeah, no matter how many units, no matter how many tenants.
No, it can't be.
Yep.
No, it can't be.
It is.
Okay, so I was saying I was sitting here with Bill Gates. Right, so I might be sitting here with Bill Gates, but he's definitely never going to be as rich as Bill Gates. But I do want to remind
Hopefully
everybody that
equally as
tonight,
helpful.
if you want to come to investorschooling.com, these guys will be here all night. Well, I guess not all night, but all night to they're going to do a further demonstration. And if you want to talk to them and see the further demonstration, you can. It's free tonight. Just come.
Yeah.
So go to investorschooling.com, sign up, and I'm going to let these guys wave goodbye now.
Thank you.